Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Now this, brothers, is big news. This is an article from RT published today, September 22nd, 2022, titled Iran to join drills with Russia and China. And it says here, the chief of staff in Tehran, which is the capital of Iran, which we know Iran, or the Iranians, I should say, or the modern day Persians. Okay? Read about the medieval Persian Empire. All right? You read about Xerxes or Ahasuerus in the scriptures. You know, he's known by those two names. You watch the movie 300. That was during the Greco-Persian War. Okay? The Persians are the Iranians today. Okay? So it says, the chief of staff in Tehran says naval maneuvers will take place in the Indian Ocean. It says the Iranian Navy will take part in joint exercises with Russian and Chinese warships this autumn. Major General Mohammad Hossein Bagheri announced on Thursday in Tehran. The chief of staff of the Iranian Armed Forces did not offer much in the way of details about the planned maneuvers, but said other countries such as Oman and Pakistan might participate as well. Bagheri made the announcement on the sidelines of a military parade in Tehran, making Sacred Defense Week, according to the Mehr news agency. And this is a quote: exercises involving the navies of Iran, Russia, and China will be held in the northern part of the Indian Ocean this autumn. Mehr quoted Bagheri as saying, pardon me, and it finishes up. It says this would be the fourth joint exercise by the three navies since 2019, and the first since the escalation of hostilities in Ukraine. 11 Iranian vessels, 3 Russian and 2 Chinese warships took part in the January 2022 exercises, in the northern Indian Ocean. Among the activities participated at the time were artillery fire and naval targets, search and rescue operations, and the liberation of a civilian ship from pirates, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. Okay, so that was that was some big news, man. So you have these three nations, which they're all equipped with nuclear missiles. All right, there's a big question. Oh, does Iran have nuclear missiles? Look, man, they've been had the nuclear missiles, man. All right, this is Ezekiel the 38th chapter. All right, and I'll just read a few verses, man. Even though right now this whole chapter is good, but due to the interest of time, I got to get ready to go on the plantation in a few. I'm going to read a few here, hit a few precepts, and then end the lesson. But we've been telling you people that World War III is coming, and it's the Heavenly Father that's, stirring the pot. Because at the end of the day, prophecy is going to come to pass, whether you like it or not. Prophecy will be fulfilled. Now, we're waiting for a few more prophecies, which World War III is definitely a big prophecy. And another prophecy is that RFID microchip, which is the new big thing coming real soon to this society. You go overseas to places like Sweden, and the different Baltic nations, you would realize, oh shit, this prophecy is already over here. All right? You understand what I'm saying? So we're just waiting for a few more things to come to pass, and then Yahweh shall be on his way. Okay? And I'm speaking to the brothers in the know. Those of you who are not in the know, you better get familiar because the time is very short. But anyway, Ezekiel 38 and 1. And the word of the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all right? When you see all caps right there, you see Lord in all caps, we know it's talking about the Most High, which his name is Yahweh, and his only begotten son name is Yahweh Shai. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. Now, Gog and Magog, when you go into the table of nations in the book of Genesis, were sons of Japhet. But the Russians are now dwelling in their land. So that's why it refers to Gog and Magog. Okay? It's talking about that land that Russia, is today. It's the land of Gog and the land of Magog. It says the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. These are also sons of Japhet. And you look them up, they were dwelling in the land of Turkey. Now we know Turkey plays a very major role, in these geopolitical activities because Turkey is in a strategic location. All right, you see what I'm saying? So you got to go and get familiar more with Turkey and its involvement in this whole this whole world war. All right, because they're definitely going to be involved in it. It says, and say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And why is the Most High against them? Because at the end of the day, whether you call yourself American, Russian, French, German, or whatever have you, you're all Edomites. All of you so-called white people are Edomites, and the Lord hates you. When you dig deep, you understand that the Most High made you to hate you. Okay? And he made the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, he made them to love them. So what's happening now is getting ready to be a changing of powers. All right? So it reads on. And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws. Yeah, because the Heavenly Father is pretty much telling that the Russians are going to go back into that communist state, and that's why the whole thing with Ukraine is happening, because that's the Lord putting the hooks into the jaws of Russia or the jaws of the bear and turning them back to that communist state. It says, and will bring thee forth and all thine armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. That's right. Because why? Because now is the time for World War III. And that's why they're doing military exercises. I read the article. It's Iran, Russia, China, and they said some smaller nations are going to be gathered there also. Pakistan, they said perhaps could be, taking part in the military exercises. Because soon the Most High is going to let this thing pop off, man. And these prophecies are going to be fulfilled to a T. It says Persia, I went into who the Persians are, Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarter and all his bands, and many people with thee. So these are also sons of Japhet, and they were dwelling in different smaller lands in that region. So they're going to be joined together with Russia, because Russia is the major superpower. Okay, Iran and China are allies with them. They're going to be joined together, and those smaller nations are going to be joined together, and they're going to create this large collage of nations that are going to fight against against America. And it's going to get even more interesting, because when they're fighting against America, Yahweh Shai is going to return. And then they're all going to turn their aggression from one towards another. They're going to leave off fighting one towards another to fight against the Son of the Most High. Okay? And you can read that in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. Okay? Reading on. It reads, Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself. thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So what does that mean when it says be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them? These different smaller nations that do not have the weaponry and artilleries to fight in this major war, the superpower Russia is going to supply them with fighter jets, with drones, with assault rifles, with tanks and things of that nature, with grenades and rocket launchers and things like that. Okay, that's how Russia's going to be a guard unto these different nations that they're going to be fighting uh uh you know with alongside. Okay, it says, in many days shalt thou be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come up into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people. It says, against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste. It says, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. So the Israelites are going to get back their land. All right. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, soon you're not going to have to cry no more. Okay. All right. You see what I'm saying? Soon if you are crying, it's going to be tears of joy. Hey, because we're going to get the promises that was promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. It reads down, it says, thou shalt ascend and come up like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. So that's World War III. It says, thus saith the Lord power, it shall also come to pass that at that same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And what's going to be that evil thought? The evil thought is going to be to let the missiles go, to let these nuclear missiles go, and let them fly over here to America and destroy it, man. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages, that's talking about America, and will go to them that are at rest, and dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. Okay? So what's going to happen, man? Eventually this place is going to be destroyed. America is going to be destroyed. Okay? America is going to get nuked. All right? And that's all according to the Lord's will. I believe it's Jeremiah 50 and 21. Okay, so this is Ezekiel, Salaki, Jeremiah 50 and 21. Go up against the land of Merathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekud. Now, when you look up this word, Merathaim, it's talking about Babylon. All right?
Strong's H 4850. Marah. Marah.
It's Marathayim. All right? See what it says down here? Another name for Babylon. That's talking about America. Now you look up the word Pekud. Let's go back here and look up Pekud. Visitation, a place in the Babylonian army and a tribe in southeast Babylonia bordering Elam. Now that's talking about America, all right, because it was a place in southeast Babylonia, all right. So modern day Babylon is talking about America, all right. So that's what it's talking about. It's not talking about those ancient lands. It's talking about right here. It says, waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. A sound of battle is in the land, and a great destruction. How is the hammer of the earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon come a desolation among the nations? And that's what's going to happen to America. America is not going to be this great superpower reigning over and terrorizing the earth no more. America is going to become a wasteland. All right? That's what it says right here. All right? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? And what's going to make America this great desolation among the nations? Those nuclear missiles, man. And that's why things like this are happening. They're doing drills. They're banding with other nations, and they're performing drills, man. All right? Land, air, and sea. This is the war that's getting ready to be fought. And it's going to end in a nuclear blaze, which America, is going to be destroyed in. All right? You see what I'm saying? So from here, let's, I think... where is it at? This is Jeremiah 51 and 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain. That destroying mountain is talking about America. All right? Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. How is the mountain? How is the American government? How is this infrastructure going to be burnt? By the way of nuclear missiles, man. That's how America's going out. We told you, we've been telling you for years that America's going to go out in a nuclear blaze. Everything that's happening right now is leading up to it. Everything that's happened over the past, years, 10, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 years, everything that's been happening is all leading up to it, man. All right? It's time for this man to go down. When I say this man, I'm talking about the so-called white man. You've ran your route. I'm talking to you devils, man. You have ran your route, and you're coming to the end of it, man. You're coming to the end. You're coming to the finish line of your rulership. So it tells you in Job, it tells you in Job, what's that? 14 and 5. It tells you right here. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So you so-called white people, listen, man, you're running on low time, man. There's the last couple of grains of sand in that hourglass that's called America. That's called the so-called white man's rulership. All right? You see what I'm saying? This is that last kingdom, man, to stand on the earth, man, that was diverse one from another. All right? It happened in Rome, and now we living in the revised Roman Empire. Okay? Because that's where they started getting the Senate. Because when they tell you that in Daniel's about, how this kingdom was diverse from all the others, because they dealt with the Senate, and they didn't deal with a king. That's going into ancient Rome. All right? But guess what? Now, we living in modern day Rome, which they have embraced the same thing. All right? So, let me see here. We read that. Let's go back. I'm gonna, it's all throughout these scriptures, man. Malachi. This is Malachi. And let me start at 1. Malachi 1 and 1. The burden of the word of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? And that's what our people say. These so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because they don't know the Most High. All right? And neither do they want to know the Most High. Was not Esau. Esau is you so-called white people. That's the forefather of you so-called white people. You're the Edomites. All right? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob and I hated Esau. So the Most High hates you so-called white people, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished and will return to build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the borders of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. All right. So, that's you so-called white people, man. The Most High hates your fucking guts. All right. You are the borders of wickedness, and the Lord is getting ready to take your society down. Malachi 4:1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that, Salakia, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, of hosts of armies, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So that's the time we coming to, man. We living in the time of the fall of the Edomite Empire. The last leg of the Roman Empire is gonna go out in a nuclear blaze, and even your allies are gonna turn against you and shoot missiles on you. All right, and because you read it here in Revelation 17. There we go. Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Now those 10 horns are different nations, all right? And we know the beast is talking about NATO and the EU. These different nations that are in league with America, guess what? They're gonna end up turning against America. All right? Your allies are gonna turn against you. Because the Heavenly Father is gonna put the spirit on them. Scriptures tell you how the nations have drunken of their wine and the nations are mad. It says, for the Most High has put it in their heart. Slack, let me go back up. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. The whore is talking about America. We already broke down who the beast was. And the 10 horns, it says, and shall make her desolate and naked. We already went into how America is going to be made desolate. All right? It's going to be made desolate by the nuclear fire that's going to be shot upon it. Nuclear missiles are going to be just completely destroy this place, man. I'm telling you, man. It's going to be crazy. It says, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that's how America's going out. All right? This is not talking about hell. This is not talking about any other thing but the nuclear destruction. That's going to be that lake of fire. It says, for the Most High has put it in their heart to fulfill his will. And that's why you had nations that were, rallying to join, NATO. They want to join NATO. They want to get down with the EU, so on and so forth. Why? Because the Most High has put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, NATO and the EU, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city. So that tells you that the whore is a city. That's talking about America. Anywhere you go on this earth, what are you known as? An American citizen. A citizen is a member of a city. Okay, so that great city is talking about America, who reigneth over the kings of the earth. So what else could this be talking about? Listen, if your eyes are open and your ears are open, then you will see and understand. But if not, your ears are going to continue to be closed. Your eyes are going to continue to be closed. And the day will come where you are destroyed. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Akakodah. Shalom to the elect.